What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel and our Georgia State Dynasty. Year 10 of the Dynasty kicked off last week in Cowboys Stadium in the Cowboys kickoff. Number 4 Georgia State versus number 3 Oklahoma. And the Panthers came away with the victory 16-14 over the Sooners. This week, the Panthers at home for a game against unranked Maryland. Coming up next, Panthers versus Terps. Georgia State will kick off, and we are underway for the first official home game in the Georgia Dome. Williams going to take this one back out past the 20, and he's going to get up to the 30, and that is where the Terps will take over on offense. John Donovan coaching his first game at Maryland, and boy, it is going to be a hard one against the number 2 team in the country. Hill looking to pass, will dump it off to Nelson, and Nelson will gain 6. 3rd and 2 now for Maryland on this first opening drive. Hill gonna go down for a 1-yard loss. Jake Folks with the tackle, and the Terps 3 and out. Georgia State will take over. Terrence Flynn, 6 catches, 104 yards and a touchdown in last week's game against the Sooners, a game Georgia State won. Thomas Patrick will hand off to Leach on their opening play, and Leach going to get that first down and more into Maryland territory. It's a gain of 21. As you take a look at the replay, nice blocking and broken tackles by Leach. Gain them 21 on the ground. 1st and 10 now from inside the 30 of Maryland. Patrick, a quick out to Terrence Flynn, and Flynn going to pick up 11 on the screenplay. And Georgia State is inside the 20. From the 15, Patrick firing, end zone caught. Bostic, Gavin Bostic, 15 yards and a touchdown. And just like that, the Panthers up 7-0 over the Terps. We get a studio update here. FIU up by a touchdown, 7-0 over number 21 LSU. Back to our game, Maryland takes over again for the 2nd time. A dump off to Cutler. That one's going to gain him 3. A hard hit at the end as you take another look at it. This one good for 3. Later in the drive, it's 3rd and 7. Terps trying to avoid a 3 and out. Hill going deep, and it's picked off by Sean Lewis. And Georgia State gets their first takeaway of the day, and they take over. And it's a handoff to Leach on 1st and 10, and Leach up to midfield on a carry of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. Play action from Patrick, looking, sets, fires deep, wide open downfield. Leach, he's got the catch inside the 10, dragged down at the 1, 48 yards, and it's 1st and goal, Georgia State. Patrick will hand off to Leach on 1st and goal, and into the end zone goes Leach for the touchdown. And Georgia State up 14-0 now over Maryland. We look at the offenses so far. 104 total yards for Georgia State, only 10 for Maryland. Maryland will take over now for the 3rd time. Hopefully the 3rd time's the charm for them. Hill's going to keep it on a read option here, and he's got the first down and more down the sideline, pushed out of bounds after a 24-yard gain. 3rd and 10 now for the Terps. Hill going to fire this one up deep downfield, and it's overthrown, incomplete. And the Maryland Terps cannot get anything going. Georgia State has the ball now, 2nd and 24. A delayed handoff to Leach, and he's weaving his way through the defenders and getting the first down on the ground, a gain of 30. And we'll take another look at this one. Another good play of blocking by this Georgia State offensive line and even the receivers downfield. 1st and 10 in Maryland territory now. Patrick, lots of time, steps up, fires outside, and Matt Terry has the first down catch, a gain of 14. In the shotgun, Play action from Patrick. He's going to roll out to his right here. Set, fire, caught by Terry again. Inside the 5, down to the 2. It's a gain of 26 and a first and goal, Georgia State. From the 2, Patrick will hand off to Leach. Avoid a tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. And just like that, Georgia State's up 21-0. Stephen Leach with 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. And Maryland trying to get anything going here with under 2 to go in the first quarter. A dump off to Gray is going to get him into Georgia State territory. A gain of 18. Second down and 6 for Maryland. Hill looking to pass. Fires. Caught by Williams. Tackled after a gain of 9. But a first down for Maryland. Later in the drive, it's 3rd and 10. Hill fires. Caught by Nugent. He's got the catch. He's got the first down. A gain of 16. And it's 1st and 10 for Maryland at the 14. Hand off to Cutler. And Cutler ain't going nowhere but backwards. A loss of 2. Tackle by Terrence Pruitt. And at the end of 1, Georgia State putting it on Maryland 21-0. Maryland knocking on the door here. Start the second quarter. 3rd and 9. Hill is going to fire this one towards the end zone. Caught by Gray. He has the first down, but a flag on the play. It's coming back. It's a holding. And it's going to be a replay of the down. 3rd and 9. Hill going to dump it off to Cutler. Cutler down inside the 10, down to the 8. Short of the first down. And Maryland will settle for a field goal to make it 21-3. Another studio update here. Number 5 Georgia Tech up 3-0 over South Carolina. Back to our game. Georgia State gets the ball here in the second quarter for the first time. It's a fly sweep to Terrence Flynn, and he's got open field ahead of him. Down the sideline goes Terrence Flynn. A gain of 40 on the ground by the receiver, and it's 3rd and 1 now. Georgia State looking to score again. Patrick back to pass, will fire to the end zone, and it's picked off by Maryland. They'll down it in the end zone, and the Terps will take over. 3 defenders there around Terrence Flynn. Not a throw Patrick should have made. And the Terps will take over 3rd and 13. And it's picked off. Sean Lewis with the interception. His 2nd of the day. He returns it back to the 1. And it's 1st and goal. Georgia State. Leach will get the handoff. And the touchdown, number 3 on the day by Stephen Leach. And Georgia State leads now 28-3. We get our studio update. Georgia Tech extends their lead over South Carolina 10-0. Back to our game. The ensuing kickoff to Maryland is taken by Williams at the 10. Out past the 20. Past the 30. He's out past the 40. Finally dragged down at the 48. And that is where they will take over. 2nd and 6. Hill going deep down the sideline. 1-on-1. Almost picked off by B.J. Allen. Nice deflection. 3rd and 6 for the Terps. Hill gonna pass here, and he's gonna get pressured and sacked. Folks with the sack, a loss of 8, and they have to punt. Georgia State punting later in the quarter, and it's off the returner's head and picked up by the Georgia State Panthers. Their 3rd takeaway of the half, and they have the ball. 3rd and 1. Handoff to Leach up the middle. He muscles his way forward for a gain of 7. That sets up 1st and 10. From just outside the 10, Patrick going to pass here. Lots of time. Fires, caught, end zone. Matt Terry, 11 yards and a touchdown. And the Panthers extend their lead heading into half, 35-3. Jonathan Ridgway will open up the 3rd quarter at quarterback for the Panthers. He's going to keep it on a 3rd and inches on a read option play up the middle, and he's going to pick up the first down. And we're going to look at the halftime stats now. Georgia State over 300 yards of total offense. Georgia State's defense holding Maryland's offense to under 100 yards. 3rd and 3 now for the Panthers. Ridgway back to pass here. Looking, firing, caught Matt Terry, but he fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Stiegel, and the Maryland Terps get their 2nd takeaway of the day. Looking at the replay there, just a hard hit knocks that ball out and gives the Maryland the turnover and the takeaway. First and 10 Maryland here in the third quarter. Hill gonna pass here. He's gonna lob this one up, and it's picked off by Stevens. Georgia State taking it right back, getting their 4th takeaway on the day, their 3rd interception. And Georgia State gets the ball back here after the interception. Head coach Chip Nolan very excited about this defense today. 4 takeaways. Ridgway now play action. He's in the game because we have such a big lead and we want to see what he can do. And he's hitting Terrence Flynn down the sideline, double coverage. 32 yards sets him up inside the 15 here. First and 10, Ridgway firing, caught. Bostic down inside the 5, down to the 1. Later on, it's 3rd and goal, and Ridgway back to pass here is going to step up, and he's going to get sacked on the play. That one is going to lead to a 4th down field goal as you look at the replay. Steps up right into that sack. And Georgia State now has a 38-3 lead in this game. Maryland takes over. Hill being pressured, and he goes down, sacked again, this time by Brandon Smith. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Terps. Hill gonna pass, fires as he's hit, and downfield is broken up by Sean Lewis, having a day. 2 tackles, 1 deflection, and 2 interceptions. Later in the corner, Ridgway and the Panthers in Maryland territory, firing. Terrence Flynn with the catch. He's down to the 19, a gain of 23. And as we head to the end of the third quarter, it's 38-3, Georgia State. Ridgway and the Panthers knocking on the door here to open up the 4th quarter. 3rd and 3, and Ridgway will dump it off to Flynn inside the 5, drag down the 1. It's a face mask penalty, which will negate anything really there. It's not going to get him much more. A toss on 1st and goal to Leach will get the end zone touchdown. Stephen Leach, number 4, but it's coming back, clipping on the Panthers, and they're going to have to replay this one. They would eventually have 3rd and goal from outside the 20, and Ridgway going to get sacked on the play for a loss of 8. So Georgia State's going to settle for a field goal attempt. As you look at the sack there, it looks like it's going to be about a 48, 49-yard attempt by Williams. Kick is up. It has the distance, but it's wide left, and the score remains 38-3. We get a studio update. Number 5 Georgia Tech has beaten South Carolina 17-14. And back to our game, Maryland trying to get any resemblance of an offense going here. A catch here by Nugent's going to give them a 1st down on a gain of 15. Very next play, empty backfield set. Hill gonna step up here, fire, sideline caught by David Moss, a gain of 16. And Maryland has something going here in Georgia State territory now. On 1st and 10, Hill will fire deep here, double coverage. Sean Lewis was with his 3rd interception of the day, and that can pretty much seal it for Georgia State. 5 takeaways on the day. 3 by Sean Lewis. He is having a game for the Panthers, and Georgia State will just try to run some clock here. Daniels in the game now, the backup running back, Nick Daniels, trying to see some action here. We want to see how he does in this game at running back. He's a big baller, and he's going to get this carry here on 2nd and 10 and take it for a gain of 15. So we like so far what we've seen from him. As far as Jonathan Ridgway, he could do better. Nick Daniels here with a gain of 14, and that is going to seal it for the Panthers. They run the clock out, and they take this one. Stephen Leach, 20 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 48-yard reception. Gets him the player of the game, and Georgia State takes this one 38-3 over Maryland. Taking a look at other games around the country, number 22 Texas A&M beats Western Kentucky 41-22. FAU 51-10 over FCS Southeast. Taking a look at the stats from our game, pretty good game by this offense. They could have been better. It wasn't that big of a blowout. The defense was really good with 5 takeaways. Player of the game, Stephen Leach on offense, Sean Lewis on defense, 2 tackles, 3 interceptions for him. And we'll take a look at your top 25 poll. Georgia State 2-0 moves down to number 3 in the country. Notre Dame and Ohio State play their first games and get victories, and they take over the top 2 spots in the top 25 poll. Coming up next, Georgia State will be at home again for conference opener against number 21 LSU. They come back and beat FIU, and they are 1-0. We are 2-0 on the season, and looking forward to this SEC opener. I want to hear your comments down below in the comment section about how we played today. What players stood out to you? Leave those comments down below. Hit that like button if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and want to see more Georgia State Dynasty. And as always, you can follow me over on Twitter at MaddenBallerz. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.